Now, the Section 194 inquiry looking into the suspended public protector's fitness to hold office will continue. At least that's what Chairperson Richard Dyantyi is telling us. It's been a year since Mkhwebane was suspended, and she has since been working to have Dyantyi recuse himself. Mkhwebane has accused Dyantyi along with ANC Chief Whip Penny Majondina and the late Tina Joma Peterson of trying to extort her. For more on this story, we are joined by the chairperson via Zoom. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Dyantyi. We do appreciate it. I think let's just start off with the fact that this inquiry was possibly supposed to have already concluded its work, if I'm not mistaken. And we are currently on the 10th of June, and there are still delays after delays. How is this impacting the deadline that was set out for this inquiry to have concluded long ago?
Good evening, Heidi, and to all your eNCA viewers. You absolutely correct. The original program did not envisage that we would finish in July 2023. You would remember we were consistently saying we set ourselves 6 months from the start, which was July last year. That was really the timeline that we set ourselves. Perhaps little did we anticipate that the kind of interlocutory delays, the off-ramps that we had to confront on the way, that they would really put us so much back. Everybody has been with us. We have so many delays about court challenges. If it's not court challenges, it's recusal after recusal, it's payment issues, it's legal reps walking out, it's legal reps threatening the committee or the chair. There's so much of that, but with all of that, we have been there, and we have always ensured that we want to have a decorum and a fairness of the process. Where we are now, we have what I would call unmovable deadline, Heidi, which is the 28th of July, because by that date, we must have presented a report of this inquiry to the National Assembly. So we've got to work backwards for everything else that we must still do in the inquiry.
But are you going to meet that deadline of the 28th of July, given what is before you?
Yes, I can assure you that we are going to meet that deadline. It's not only the time in terms of the date of the 28th of July. We're operating within a budget of 4 million and nothing else more than that 4 million. And within that, we would have worked out a total of 22 days for us to complete our entire work. At a point when we did that, the inquiry would have taken the form of a lot of your oral kind of work. As you are now aware, since Friday, we have now introduced a different version of achieving the same results with a different approach, where we now are going to be asking members, evidence leaders, in the week that we're coming to send out their questions. And I will then issue directives attached with timelines as to when the responses from the public protector must be. There will be a time, if they so wish, for any oral reply they want to do, including closing arguments. And we'll then go to get a process where the evidence leaders assist the committee once we have all the answers for the summation of the report, get the committee to deliberate in the public transparently about what we would have received, do our draft report. Because what we have in front of us is all the sworn statements of the public protector, part A and part B of that, including the report of the independent panel, as well as all the evidence and testimonies of witnesses. We have what we need to have in relation to any information. But I did on Friday said to the public protector, we'll also give a further opportunity. If indeed she has any other issues outside of the statement that she has taken on oath and submitted, that she wishes to add, that would be amenable to hear that and receive all of that.
Okay, that's very important that you're giving her a further opportunity, given the fact that she, at the moment, doesn't necessarily have a legal team. I want to ask you, at this point where you're at, you say you have to submit a final report before National Assembly on the 28th of July. That is the current deadline. Where are you right now in terms of this inquiry? Are you at closing arguments? So are you at the point where the members of parliament need to send their questions to the public protector? Where are we in this process? Because you don't have much time, and looking outside of this, as an outsider and as a South African, it just looks like it's delay after delay. You have a tight deadline. You're saying that there can only be 4 million rand used for this inquiry and nothing more. So where are you in this inquiry at the moment?
From Friday, when we adopted this new arrangement now, the coming week will be dedicated to the evidence leaders as well as the members to submit their questions. And from then, we're going to then set out time, and that will be done in detail in writing to the public protector as to when she needs to respond to these kind of questions. There would have been even further suggestions on Friday by the evidence leaders that perhaps we can also do these kind of questions by topic, but also we could do them by part A, part B, just to make sure that they are quite manageable. So you are looking at the week of the 13th that is coming, where we're expecting that questions will be submitted, and from there it will be a time to allow her to respond to those questions in writing. If she prefers to come and respond to them orally, that would also be undertaken. But the oral responses have been designed in such a way that if we give her a question today, tomorrow she must come and answer orally. But if she prefers the writing, responding in writing, will then give much more time to allow for those kind of responses to come to us. And as I've indicated, then once we have all of that, she has responded to all of the questions, it's going to be an opportunity for what we call the closing arguments. And even there again, would have given options about whether they would prefer the written or even the oral one. So when we issue the directives this coming week, they will indicate all of those steps and with the timelines and together with the deadlines. It's only after your closing arguments that the evidence leaders will then be in a position to do the summation of the report, and then the committee will engage into deliberations in a way to then actually debate the fitness to hold office of the public protector. Sure. And thereafter it will be the draft report.
Okay. It was just important to clarify that up because the suspended public protector is planning to hold a press briefing, and I want us to move into those issues. Mr. Dyantyi, you're being accused of extortion and bribery, and the public protector has even gone as far as saying that this has been reported to the Hawks and the Ethics Committee. I know that you have denied all of these allegations made against you in terms of extortion and bribery and corruption. But have you heard from the Hawks or the Ethics Committee in terms of needing to give your version of these allegations presented to them?
I've indicated that I'm ready to, as a law-abiding citizen, to subject myself to both the Joint Committee on Ethics as well as the Hawks when called upon to do that. I'm ready. If that happens tomorrow, if that happens on Tuesday or tonight at any time, I'm ready to submit to that process to assist them in their work that they are doing.
So you deny the allegations, you deny any interaction with the suspended public protector's husband, you deny having any conversation about any bribery to quash this Section 194 inquiry.
The less said about that, the better. I don't intend and I maintain to dignify those scandalous allegations, because everybody else who's been following this inquiry from day one, we've been very clear that we're on a fact-finding mission here. This process is evidence-led. The evidence in the past 11 months that has been submitted to the committee, there's evidence for the exoneration of the public protector. There's evidence against that. You would have seen through witnesses and everybody else would have come in front of us. There's just no amount of money that can change that evidence, that can sway it to a different level. And the fortunate thing is that we've been doing this in a very transparent and public manner. So I continue to deny these scandalous, made up allegations. And I think that, and I've said it before, there seems to be an objective to deflect on the real issues and try and delay the process.
And this is not the first time, Mr. Dyantyi. It is, of course, the first time that you are being accused of extortion, bribery and corruption, but it's not the first time you've been asked to recuse yourself. It's not the first time that there have been issues around the process of the Section 194 inquiry. I remember when I was there for the 1 week of proceedings, there was also an issue of how the public protector and her legal team at the time felt as though she was being treated unfairly. You, as the chairperson of this inquiry, do you feel that you have been fair to the suspended public protector? Do you feel that you have been fair to her witnesses and you have allowed for a free, fair and open process?
If there's one thing that we've done, and we've done even beyond our own expectations, is anchoring this inquiry on the platform of rationality and fairness. We've been more than fair to the public protector, and the facts to back that. So for every witness that and Q&A, for every witness that would have come in front of this inquiry, the legal team of the public protector, for each of those, would have spent more hours, more time than the evidence leaders or the members. If that's not fairness, I don't know what fairness is. So they've been given ample time, even beyond the deadlines that they were originally asked to conform to. And we have always, when there are these off-ramps, gone out of our way to really attend to those. We even had to attend matters that are outside of the mandate of the inquiry, the payment issues, which had nothing to do with the Section 194. And myself as a chairperson had to go out of my way to ensure that it's attended to, because we didn't want anything that would jeopardize the work that we're doing. So fairness is not something that can be questioned about our commitment. We've been very fair because we wanted to do a procedurally fair process within a reasonable time frame and without delay. And I can go to any court would not be found wanting on that score.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights this evening, Mr. Dyantyi, and for just providing us some clarity in terms of what happens with the Section 194 inquiry moving forward. That was, of course, Section 194 inquiry Chairperson Richard Dyantyi, and he's made it very clear that come next week, the process will continue despite many delays. And I actually just quickly want to read a tweet from the suspended public protector. She says, media alert on Tuesday, the 13th of June. The public protector of South Africa will hold a media briefing in Johannesburg. And on the agenda is the latest in the Section 194 inquiry, evidence of extortion, bribery and corruption against Mr. Dyantyi, Ms. Majondina and the late Ms. Jomat Peterson, as reported to the Hawks and the Ethics Committee. So we'll, of course, have to hear the side of the suspended public protector and her way forward.